So here we are, new session, new topic. We're doing a tab group widget. So this came up on Discord. Um, Folks wanted to know how to do. They liked these tabs. They wanted to do something like that, but they didn't want the tabs to be able to be ripped out, which I gave them a solution for that. But I also have been thinking that I might want to have a tab group inside of a window, just kind of like tabbed settings in the middle and within the window, something like that. The render settings kind of has that. There's these are basically tabs, right? And you can switch, and it'll give you different settings here for each one. But I thought maybe we want it to look more like traditional tabs, and we can build that out. It'll be more interesting than just buttons that switch out the bottom. Um, and then this combo box is kind of like tabs too, right? It's you switch between them and you get a different page on the bottom. So different implementations for the same purpose. But we're gonna try to make something look like this, but within a window. So, hey Ivan, welcome. And for that, I'm going to continue building on this project. I started this a little while back, and let me get the link for you all. It's in the YouTube description, but I'll put it in the chat too. There it is. So I'll be pushing to this repo. And cool. So that's there. And my idea for this project was I wanted to provide just custom widgets apart from the ones that already come with Kit. I figured there's still room to build things, and not everybody is interested in building custom UI for everything. At least in my previous job, it was more about building the business logic, and then if there was a UI widget that fit the need that I needed that I had, then I would absolutely grab it and stick it in my UI and use that for the purpose that for my end goal of building something for my users that would help them. So that's what this is you could build these yourself every project, but odds are there's going to be groups that you're going to want to reuse for different projects, and it'd be nice to just have one place that you can import from and include those into various projects. So basically I have this extension here, the MC widgets extension. I can include this in other extensions that I'm building and leverage these custom UI widgets that I'm building. So with that, I wanted to show one more thing. So with that, I built the last time I built this checkbox group, which I can. It used to have a button, I think, at some point, but it will tell me which checkbox is checked or which one I'm changing. But it'll also tell me the full state of the whole group. So so that was kind of the functionality that I wanted to add, is just a quick way to be able to have lots of checkboxes in a group and then be able to query them all together at once, or know which one changed individually, without having to rebuild this for multiple projects. So that was that project. And now we can get into what we're building today. So let me just switch over here. Okay. So there's my project, and there's my window, and I'll switch over to the viewport. So I built this demo window. This is the window that I just showed you, and this is just so that I have a place to instantiate my widget that I'm working on, and test it. So eventually, what I'll do is I'm going to build this out as a full window showcasing all the widgets that I'm building, and you can get an idea of how to use the widgets and how they work. But for now, it's a good way to debug, test as I work. And then in here, I have my widgets module that has the checkbox group, and now I can add my custom tabs. So I'm gonna minimize those because I don't need to look at them, and I'm gonna build my tab group. I don't think I need to call it widget. I think tab group is enough. And I think I had a pattern here that I liked. So like I said, I wrote this a while back. I think I have a couple of better ideas now with how I want this. One thing that I want to do is potentially always use a frame for the root container, because the frame has a rebuild function that can be called to rebuild the whole all of its children all at once. This project does not look like it's linked correctly, so let me fix that. Terminal. Yeah, okay, that worked. And now I may need to reload here. Get this thing to reload the settings and make sure that the IntelliSense comes through here. Let's give that a minute. I'm just waiting to see these things start to change colors. These imports. That should give us that should cue us that it's coming through. Let me know if you have any questions as we're getting going here. So here now you can see these turn green, and I'm getting the documentation, which is great. And the reason that I wanted that is I wanted to show here class frame. It has you can go to a build function, and that will be rebuilt when there's a rebuild function, and so that can be pretty convenient. So we'll start that here with this one. Okay, we don't need these. And I think we'll do a similar pattern here. I wonder if this will actually work. This is my first time doing this one, but let's do self.frame is equal to UI.frame, and then the build function is equal to self.buildWidget, and then theoretically, if I put a label here, And I call this yep. Cool. So basically, when this gets instantiated, it's just going to create this frame, but then the frame is going to build all of its children. So I think that should be cool. And I don't think I need anything else from here. We can go ahead and add the destroy function. Just does frame have a destroy? It does. So let's do that. All right, and then in the demo, we're going to create this right underneath. So my new widget is called tab group and tab group. So theoretically, if I did this right, there it is. There's our one label. So that looks good. We're on the right track. So here we go. Now, why do I put an underscore for build widget at the front? Good question. Python doesn't really have a strict notion of private versus public. So when you're doing object-oriented programming, and you instantiate an object like frame, some things in other languages, some variables in other languages might only be accessible internally from within the class code. Others you could access from the object like that. So there isn't a rigid way to do that in Python. So what we do instead is we put the underscore in front to say private, to as a convention, to just say, hey, you shouldn't be using this if you created this object, like you're a consumer of my class, don't go using any of the variables that are underscored, or any functions that are underscored. Those aren't meant for you. Those are meant for me as the developer of that class. So that's the gist of it. Yeah, hopefully that helps. Let me know if you have any follow-up questions. Okay, so here, now we can start building that UI. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a row of those tabs, and then on the bottom I'm going to have I think a Z stack, basically a stack of cards of the different frames for these tabs. So I want a V stack here. And don't forget the module. And in here, I said I'm going to do an H stack for those tabs. And then I'm going to do, I have to do another V stack here. Nope, this is a Z stack. So this is going to have the rectangle. So in here, I don't use these often, but finally I'm building out this UI and kind of drawing it the way that I want. I'm going to build out this rectangle, and I'm going to put a label on top. Okay, so that is one tab, and we should do a few of these, right? Just to make this hstack for x in range 3. Do a few of these so that we see what it is we're looking at here. So there's 3 of them. And right now they're taking the full height. So let's reduce this. And I think I want to reduce the hstack height to 0. There we go. And then these right now are, text is left aligned, and so each rectangle is going all the way across. If I pop this out, maybe it'll help to illustrate here. So the tabs are going all the way across, which is fine for now. And I guess what we want to do is for each Z stack, we just want to do width is equal to 0 maybe. So now these are only taking the width that they need to. So, and that's defined by the text in this case. And let's set this rectangle to, just for now, to some color that is easier to differentiate here. Oops, where do you go? I got an error. Invalid syntax. I forgot. This is supposed to be a dictionary. All right. You can tell how much I don't like curly braces. I've been working in Python too long. I don't even use it for use them for dictionaries. And there's one more thing that we can use here. hstack. These stacks also have spacing. So if I set this to like 2, now I've got a little bit of spacing between them. I want to match, kind of try to match the tabs that we have here. So probably, let's try 5. It's more like a 4, but we're just splitting hairs here. Or splitting pixels. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Then the rounding on those tabs, we can do that. Rectangle has, what do you have, rectangle? I think it's a style. Maybe corner. Ooh, that's a lot of. We just did this on Developer Office Hour not too long ago. Corner flag. So this is what I need. I need to remember where this is used though. It's going to be all the instances here. Come on. Nope. Okay. Let's take a look over here. No, don't replace. There we go. Uncheck that. Here's somebody using it. Oh, it's a style. Okay. So let's come back over here. We can style this rectangle further with corner flag UI dot corner flag dot top. And I think I need to do a border radius, right? That's what they did here, pretty sure. Border radius. So we'll do that. And 5. Whoa, that's way more round. 2. 2 is kind of there. Might even be like a 1. Nah, it's too little. All right, let's stick with 2. And we've got our tabs. They don't do anything yet, but they look like tabs. So then the idea would be that after that H stack, then I could have a with UI.z stack. It doesn't really matter what I put here, actually. Well, Z stack is better. I put a Z stack in here, and then I could do for X in range 3. We do UI.frame. Let's do a width here. And then UI.label F string tab X contents. Okay. So we come over here, and they're stacked, right? They're all showing right now. So now we want to turn these into sort of buttons to show kind of thinking they could have been buttons. But let's continue here. We'll have more control this way. So yeah, so we're gonna turn these into buttons so that when they're clicked, and I guess we want a hover color too, and we'll put a tooltip and all that. When they're clicked, we are gonna hide the ones that are not the one that we want, and we will show the tab contents that we do want. So here we go. So every widget has the ability to be clicked on and to react when it's clicked on. So let's take a look here. Is this widget? No. So it has the drag function, drop function, mouse moved, mouse pressed, mouse blah, blah, blah. So we are going to add, is mouse pressed my best option here? Probably. Because I think maybe only buttons implement the clicked function. Clicked function's pretty convenient, but that's okay. We're gonna do mouse pressed, and mouse released is the one that we want. So mouse pressed would be as soon as I press but I haven't released, it would fire. Mouse released would be more of the clicked functionality that I'm expecting, where you've pressed and released. And does this tell me what those mean? X position, Y position, the button, and the modifier. So we'll figure all that out. Cool. So we come over here. So for every rectangle, I want to set up some function. So We'll call it a tab. And tab.setMouseReleased function, we're going to call self.tab clicked. Okay. And some of this, like, maybe I want to take this out into a separate tab class, but let's stick with the design we have here. Hey, Timothy, thank you for joining. If you have any questions, let me know. We're gonna do tab clicked. I may want to pass in some other information here. You know, well, because this thing doesn't really tell me. Oh wait, self. So I do know. I don't know. So this is my dilemma here, is that it doesn't tell me if I bind a function here, it's not going to tell me which tab was clicked, right? It tells me a location. I suppose I could query the tab that way. But it's not great. So this is where if I split this into a tab class, then I can have a member function that gets called, and the tab is responsible for showing its content. But the tab group doesn't know anything about hiding the content. So pros and cons. At the end of the day, whoever uses this tab group is not going to know the difference. It's mostly just maintenance for me. How do I want to, what makes sense to me? Okay, so we're going to do something like that. We need to import this. I probably already did. I don't like this feature of VS Code. I need to figure out how to turn it off. Like why? At what point did it decide that I should add that typings import? Cool. So this is going to be a partial function, which is basically a function wrapping a function that's going to then call tab clicked, but also pass in this index. So if we come over here, tab clicked, and the first, I believe it's the first, and then the first parameter would be index, and then it's going to be x, y, button, and modifier. And let's see what all of this does. Index, index, x, I suppose this warranted debugging, but I've come too far. So you'll notice I kind of do a mix of documentation versus the doc strings versus kind of just introspecting and within Python or debugging. I just kind of grab at what's at hand typically. List is not where am I using? Oh, I must be using it somewhere in here. Okay, sorry. Don't yell at me. From typings import list. All right. Typing, I think it's singular. All right. There we go. So now theoretically, yeah, look at that. Let's clear this. It's too much. Index 0, index 1, index 2. And then you'll see here that the button is 0. It's integer, so it's pretty simple. If I do a middle mouse, it's 2, and if I do a left click, it's 1. So I really only care about left click. And then modifiers would be like if I'm pressing Shift, Alt, or Control, it'll alert me of that. And you need to do special key lookups using the carb API. But yeah, we're good here. So I'm just going to be using button and index, and we're good. So if button equals 0, then we've left clicked, and we need to this is where we need to set the visibility on these things. So frame is equal to tab contents. I need to think about this a little bit. What I wanted to do is have users build their tabs outside of this tab group, and they can add tabs to it. But for now, we're just gonna make sure that this is all working with this. So we're gonna do a frame. And with frame, we do that. And we're also going to, self dot tab contents dot append frame. And then we can just say for x widget, or just frame, in enumerate tab contents, then we can do if index equals x, then we do frame dot, there's a, let's UI dot frame. Is this how you do this? It's probably not how you do this. Kind of want to look that up. Will you all bear with me as I look this up? Python for loop with type hinting. Oh, that's weird. All right, let's try that. I wish they would have done that inline, I think. Visible is equal to false. I'm sorry, that should be true. Else frame.visible is equal to false. Okay. So I need to initialize this correctly, but there we go, right? Click on the tabs and they show that. I also need to set the style for these, right? So that these tabs switch the look. So we'll do that. But it's coming together. I don't know why I moved this out of the way. Any questions so far? How are we doing on time? We're not even at the hour yet, so yeah, I think we're gonna be able to finish this one today. Okay, so that's the basic functionality. I'm not gonna get into styling just yet. I do like this. Now I was saying, you need to be able to add a tab, and so I guess I do need a tab class. So the idea would be you create this tab object and you tell it how to build itself, and I instantiate it? Or do you just give me a build function? You tell me, this is what I want to build for this tab, and I take care of that. Right, so let's kind of play around with this idea here. You build this tab group, right? And then I want you to be able to say something like, at that point it's already technically built, so I do need to like rebuild some of this as you add groups. So I want to do something like add tab, and or maybe even insert tab, right? If you change your mind and you want to, yeah, let's just do add tab for now. Or append tab would be more explicit. So you append a tab, and then do you add a tab object, or do you just say, do you give me a function? If you give me a tab, then I have a bit more control over everything that it does, and I just tell you, hey, you tell me how to build this tab out. Yeah, I think that's going to be better, because then you can tell me, I don't know if you would subclass it, or if or we do the pattern that's already established of giving me a build function. I'm partial to subclassing. Any opinions? This is for you, maybe. Will you use this? please. So let me show you guys what I'm thinking here. So I'm thinking class tab, and this is going to have init self name. Gotta give me a name. And then self.name is equal to name. And then you tell me build function. You tell me how you want to build it. And this is there's no like oh, there is an abstract method. Oh. I'm not sure if that's does what I let's see what it does. Decorator indicating abstract method requires that the meta class is right. This is using ABC meta. I don't want to get into that. What I'm just gonna do is say raise not implemented error. You must implement tab dot build function. Okay. And so my expectation is that you would then do in your demo you'd be like my tab 1 whatever, and that inherits from tab and def build function. Oh, that's nasty. Build function self, and you say with UI frame blah blah blah, and I think this works. So that's one option. And the other option would just be you give me a build function. You just say, hey, this is more functional, as in functional programming, right? It's def my tab 1 blah blah blah, and then I would probably do something like name comma my tab 1. So any thoughts? I'm leaning more towards this. I think it'll allow for more customizability, or rather more sharing of data between the tab and the consumer. You could add extra parameters, extra member variables here, and then you can have a list of tabs that you keep track of yourself. Also, I'll probably expose the tabs inside, so once you've done that, then you could do tabs dot or tab 0 my var, So I think that's kind of cool. I'm gonna go with that. I'm doing it unless you stop me. Okay, so we're gonna add that append tab here. And give me a tab, and this is gonna be type tab, or we'll call it base tab. Base tab. Cool. Why is this still? I think it'll sort itself out. Okay. This is a good start here. So self.frame and self.set just give me a build function here, right? Maybe. Actually, this is kind of the best of both worlds, right? You could either override it or you can just give me a build function. The build function's not none, then we can do self.frame. Do I want to do this here? This is actually interesting. I don't want to build this here, I think. Yeah. Okay. We append the tab. I don't think I can do this. I mean, I can, but it's going to get kind of hairy here. Adding the tabs after I've built the widget, I have to rebuild it. So I'm going to go with the simple way first, and then we can add the other part. So what you're going to give me here is just a list of tabs. Then I come over here and I say tabs is equal to tabs. This is going to be a list of base tab. Does it really want this defined up here? Yeah, it does. Okay. Okay, and so then I can just come over here and say we're going to enumerate these tabs again. For that, tab.name. Y'all still with me? Anything that's confusing? And then I'm still going to put the index in there. And we're good there. Then we can come, this should be tabs. Then we can come to this one where we put the contents. And do that here. Right, so I can still do the best of both worlds. Thanks, Funky Boy. Where was I? Yes. So we go through the tabs. I think I still want to do like a container frame for each of these, because I can't guarantee that, or I don't want to enforce that you give me just a single frame. Tab containers. Okay. And now instead I'm actually going to do UI dot, no, self, or no, tab dot build function. I think so. I can still do, and this is where trying to think this through. Python can get really wacky. You can do something like pass in a function, and then you could do self dot build function is equal to build function. So you can actually like completely override this function with what gets passed in the constructor. So it's kind of a similar way of doing the same thing. I may expose that. We'll see. For now, like this gives us a way forward. So we build the function. And in fact, what may be better is I say is equal to tab dot build function. That's it. That'll be interesting. Okay. Cool. Let's see what happens. Save that. Come over here. Build our tab group. Then we'll do a few tabs here. I can't see where somebody may not like this, because then depends how many tabs you're making. But somebody may not like the idea of having to have a class per tab. It's valid. I'm just gonna call super here. I don't think I'm gonna put any logic in the base. No, it should be abstract. It should be empty. Some should be fine. Do a few tabs here. Tab 3. And build that tab group. And I think I said, what do we need? I think we need to pass in the tabs here. Yeah. So we'll do a list and copy this. 2 more times. Change that to 2. All right, and I think that's it. It's totally broken. Unexpected indentation block, widgets 112. Yes. I'm not using this anymore, but let's leave that there for now. Okay, so something happened. We've got all 3 tabs. Looks like I didn't pass in the name of the tab into the header. Nope, tab name is there. Base tab, what do you do in base tab? You set the name there. Can I click on these? No, they're too tiny. If you see what I'm missing, let me know. I should probably debug at this point. Let's see what's going on here. We'll save to get it to refresh here. And the tab has an empty name. But when I build... Oh, I know why. But I'm not overwriting the init function, so that should have gotten called. Let's try that. So continue through that and then save, and here we are. Name came through as tab header 1, and I save it into self. And then as the tabs come in, okay, then we come into here and we have our list of tabs. And here is, for example, the first tab, and it has the right name. But then I get to the next point, and the names are gone. Oh wait, what's this? Oh, darn it. I use the same variable for both. Rect. Rect. Is that enough? I hope so. No, that wasn't enough. Rectangle, set that, tab name. Maybe I got rid of the... There we go. Continue. Yeah, look at that. So we've got tab header 1, 2, and 3, and now we can tab through all of these, and we've got our custom content for each one. Yeah, no problem, Funky Boy. Thanks for always being here and joining, and I hope it's helping to learn. So I will keep doing them if you guys tell me that they're useful. All right, so we're in good shape, right? I could start doing some styling here. I know I should build out like a full example using this so that you guys can see that I'm not crazy, that this is actually really cool. I'm not just putting labels in here. But what we can do is container frame dot visible is equal to false, and we'll only show the last one. If not tabs. Raise runtime value error. You must provide at least one tab. And this will be 0. So that ensures that I can then down here say for the 0th index for the first tab, there should always be a first tab. I'll set the first tab to true. And we'll do this. We'll do this out here. So initialize first tab. So we also need to set the rectangle and all that. Cool. So now we just have that one tab, and the other ones show here. All right. Now let's get into some styling here. I think let's get rid of that because that's annoying. Class widget has any widget can be checked, and any widget, no, I guess not any widget can be selected. Or maybe it's just alphabetical. Yeah, selected. This property holds a flag that specifies. I think we'll use the selected property. Yeah. So the plan is to set the appropriate rectangle to, or not even the rectangle, but the tab to selected. So then, we can adjust the style based off of whether it's selected or not. So over here, I think I want a function here that's select tab, and this is going to be an index. And we're going to say for x in range length of self.tabs, we will if index is equal to x, or x is equal to index, then we set this tab to visible, else we set it to not visible. Then I forgot self here. Then I think I can give this a name here. I think we'll call it a tab. Should that be a name? So I think I can affect all of these. I don't want a name selector. What I want, there's this notion of a style. Style type name override. By default, we use the type name to look up the style, but sometimes it's necessary to use custom name. For example, when a widget as a part of another widget, label as a part of a button, this property can override the name to use in style. So that's what I want. Style name override, style type name override. Can I pass that in as an argument, or does that need to be accessed as just a... Oh, what did I find here? Style type name override. All right, we'll do it this way. Yeah, thank you. I thought it'd be helpful to just see somebody working, doing stuff. So, okay, so we have this Z stack here. What I wanted to do is we'll call this a tab, a tab. You know, I just want, these are called tabs, right? So I'm gonna call it a tab header. Oops. That's gonna go down here. Oh, come on. I keep hitting weird hotkeys. Let's make that smaller. Is equal to, but when it gets to what I'm going to call this in the style, I'm going to call it a tab. I'm torn on tab header or not. Now we can take this, put it over here. We don't need a name anymore. And with tab header, we build that thing out. Now we can, oh, and I also need to, yeah, I need to set a style on this H stack here. We're going to give this a name. Tab. We in the docs we use like this looks like camel case for these names. I don't know if there's a convention around this, but let's do camel case. That's fine. So there's going to be a tab row. Okay. And this is all going to make sense in a moment. I just need to finish setting this up. Okay. Tab header, yes. Save that. Now we can come back over here and we can apply, we can do a tab group style. And if there's an, oh, see, and I used underscore here. I guess I should just be consistent with what I started. Okay. So I want to style this specific H stack, and I want to set the background color to, just for now, from our import omni.ui as UI, and UI.color blue. This is going to be a hideous UI. And then the other one was called this a tab. And all tabs are going to be I wanted to do the checked state. So how do we do that? Hovered and pressed and blah, blah, blah. Let's start with hovered. I just want to see if this is working before. Or no, we can do selected. Selected. And we're going to change the color. Yeah, that's so Ivan's asking if I can do one using file browsers. I'll see if I could work that. I think I can work that into the next session that I want to do. Next one. Hopefully if I get through this one today, I want to do a soundboard for the next one. It's kind of a silly extension, but I can do things like this, like browsing for sound files, and you can load up your own sound files. So, and then it's just going to be fun for me for the live streams. I can have a soundboard within Omniverse, and I can just fool around with that during the live streams. Yeah, you'll have to clarify on the second part, but definitely using the file browsing, file import and file export extensions that we have, I can do that. So, good suggestion. All right, so here we're gonna change this to green. Okay, so if it's selected, we change it to green, and then the last bit here is no. And here, tab headers. Self.append tab header dot append the tab header. All right. So then in here, I can now do self.tab headers, the index dot selected equals true. Let's not be lazy with our code style here. And this one's going to be false. All right, I think, oh wait, I didn't call it. Here, now we don't need to, now we can just call this one and it does everything. Select tab 0. Oh no, didn't work. At least, I don't know what, at least what? No, over here. So if it, now I don't need to do this here. I can just do, I do need to set the contents to visible. So let me also do that. Am I already doing this? Containers. Right, that would give me the frame, and we set it to visible. So I think that's right. So all I need to do is, this gets a lot nicer, right? Look at this. If it's the right button, we select the tab. That index. Cool. Oh no, it's not working. Why? That should have worked, right? Let's debug. Play. 40 minutes in left. I think we're gonna make it. What happened here? Here we go. Index 0. That looks correct. We're on 0. So if we keep going in, we set the container to visible. We set it to selected. Then the next one's going to be false. So we set the other one's false. 0, 0, 0, blue, blue, blue. Up. And that's it. But these tabs aren't switching. There's my tab clicked. Pretty sure that's all I was doing back here. Let me get in the frame from the container, and I was from the list, and I was setting visible to true. Weird. But if I set this back, watch, it's gonna work. Not sure what I broke here. Oh, it's because I am still stopped here. Continue. There. Yeah, this is still working. So something is going on here. All of this code is good. This part didn't work either. Is it because... No? Very, very odd. This is exactly the same. But just for sanity check here, if I do... I just want to see the styling working. Nah, styling's not working. Oh, because I didn't set the style? I don't think I set the style. That was foolish. Here. Style is equal to... I'm just going to import styles here because this is going to get out of hand. Checkbox group. As I make a bunch more widgets, it's going to be like super long there. So styles, tab group style. Oh, now what? Yeah, my bad. I have to do from dot import styles. There we go. Still not working. And the row isn't working either. So I put it here. I said if it's a tab row, but what happens if I say just make all the H stacks Not quite. So something going on here. Let's do something funky. VStack. Oops, did I do that right? Yeah. Font size. Something bigger. I didn't like something. I think I forgot a comma here. Okay. But if I put in a style here, it'll be happy probably. Font. Bam. Okay. So we need to figure out why that one's not working. Oh, well, this is going to get in the way for sure. This style is going to conflict with the other style. Still not the right color there, but tab group style. Oh, there we go. So that one did it. So I'll need to do it on the rectangle. I think the rectangle has a default background color that's conflicting with the one that I wanted to put higher up. So these are cascading style sheets, right? So if there is a style sheet on this rectangle that is strong, it's almost like USD. It has a stronger opinion than the one that I'm setting up here on the H stack. It's going to win out. It's a more direct authorship, a more direct setting of the color. So I will need to do it that way. This is fine. Maybe HStack uses. Maybe HStack doesn't use a color. So I need to do with UI.frame. That's something that I'm not totally sure about, is name is whether I can set. Oh, you know what? Now's a good time to do this. Disconnect this. Let's play around with the inspector window. Okay, so demo window 2. Ah, I crashed. What? Not cool. Okay, so potentially we may add a frame there for the sake of styling. And the reason that I want that, I just want, if you noticed, the tabs have they have a different colored background for the window tabs. I think I want something similar to that. I don't know. Now that I'm thinking about it, it might look funky. But but we should at least try. MC widgets. There's our window. We don't need a docket yet. And then inspector. And we can preview and we'll switch to mine. Okay, so I think inspector window's not having it today. Yeah. Okay. Honestly, I think this might turn out better. Nah, it's fine. So name is equal to tab row. Put all of these in a frame. And now can we change the background color of the frame? Oh, I did crash. Dope. I'm supposed to reload that. All right. So while that's loading, any questions? This part got a little trickier than I wanted for the styling. I think we're still okay. I feel like if I can get this styling done, then that's enough to say you've seen all the bits for what it takes to make this. Then it's just a matter of me tweaking the styling and that didn't give me a yeah, that didn't give me a color, the background color that I wanted either. Let's try color. Okay, worst case, I need to put a rectangle behind these. But I wanted the selected bit to work. So question here is whether it's the selected mode that's not working or state, or if it's this style override that's not working. It looks like the style override's the one that's not working. Let's take a look at this again. No, what did I put this on? I put this on the header, which would be everything. So the reason that I put that there was because I wanted to, right, I wanted to set the background color of all those things to green. So cyan, not quite. And nope. So that was the idea. Let's take a quick look here, make sure I'm doing this right. No. So here's a circle using the type name that's being passed in. Interesting, all of these. Style override? Is that? Why don't I check out the sequencer? Same idea. Let's check out. Where am I? Let's find something. How about this rate button? Play rate button. This one looks like it'll be a simple sample. Play styles. There's the play button. Play button.image. I can also do that. Let's try that one. So theoretically tab dot rectangle. Nope. Well, style type name override. Make sure I got this right, because that would also totally bite me in the butt. This is doing it in the constructor for this settings button. And this settings button is inheriting from UI button. And UI button is receiving that. So let's try passing that straight through instead. So when we do the Z stack, oh wait, does Z stack inherit from widget? I don't remember. It might not. That would probably be the cause of all my frustrations. But Z stack inherit, yeah, it doesn't inherit from widget. So yeah, and there's that one. It should be a string, so everything looks good on my end. So call that a tab. I just want something to happen here. That one works though. That one does not. Well, I can either pivot and just do this the not fancy way. Sure, I got that right. Z-stack should allow for it. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Oh gosh. It's working. Something's going on with the Z-stack. The Z-stack didn't like the style name override. As soon as I did it on a different widget, it was happy. So what can we do here? I rather liked putting the styles on that, but honestly, I just need to put it on the tab for the most part, on the rectangle. So if you click on the rectangle, it's going to change to I wonder why the other ones didn't react here. That one did though, so that was cool. So what can we do here? It's probably conflicting with all the other stuff that I have here. We're going to call this thing tab. And when the tab right. So I really wanted to do the Z stack because then I could set selected on the on this Z stack. Although it's almost like that sort of worked. All right, let's just go on with this and I will deal with that later. So we're not going to append that one there. We can leave that there. That's going to be confusing. Let's just put this back to how it was. So we do that. We go through the headers. The headers are going to be selected. And if it's selected, then it'll be green. And let's try it. Not quite. I should pause this and see what the current state of things are. And my styles should be correct now. So tab is going to be, let's just leave it at cyan. I'm curious that the rectangle doesn't have a font size. But when it's selected, it should be green. And that stuff doesn't matter right now. And the V-stack, I'm not sure why that didn't pick up either. Only that one likes to be turned on. So now we're getting somewhere. Where should I do this? I think at this point. Play. If I click on there, self, tab headers, so that one's false. That one's false. And this one should be true. Yep. But now we continue. And let's come over here again. We'll click on it again. And this time around, third one's still true instead of the second one. I clicked on index 1, so it should have set this one. Right? Index 1. Set it to true. Let's put a watch on that. Can watch that one. I missed it, that one. I shouldn't need to. It's out of scope at that point. Reduce that down a little bit. There's nothing else that would set this other than that select tab. And that's only getting called there. Unless something internally is changing it, but I don't think so. The other thing that I wanted to do is check these values. What happens if I use checked instead of selected? All right, where are you checked? Add to watch. Did I miss it? Selected. Checked. Oh, I did this one twice. That's 0th. 1. These are in alphabetical order. I don't know why I keep missing the checked. All right. There we go. Nope. So it's gonna do the same thing here. All right. There must be something that I'm missing here. That's so weird. So I'm in the right index. I'm checking to make sure that the selected index is the one that I'm enumerating through. These tabs are oh no. Am I adding? Am I somehow adding the same tabs in here? So it would be rectangle. That shouldn't matter. Is this point, or any of these pointing to the same objects? So these are 3 different objects. And then this is obviously right because the contents are changing. So the thing that keeps happening here is the headers. Oh, there it is. I'm using index instead of X. Okay. Let's get rid of this. I don't need this anymore. Look at that. All right. Welp. Y'all saw it. I spent like 20 minutes on this, and it was a simple mistake on my part. Okay, well that sorts out that part. I think I can go back to selected here. And I think we're going to disconnect the debugger because that's always in the way. I'm pretty sure we can go back to using this now. Just make sure we do index here. And then that one's going to be X. I feel like I need to rename this variable to something that is easier to understand. I don't know. Because that stumped me for way too long. Okay, so that's still working. I did save, right? Cool. I mean, this is it, right? This is the full functionality. What I could do is, you know, at this point, it all just comes down to styling here. Where do I want to put this? With UI.zstack. UI.rectangle. Oops, that's not how you do it. UI.color.white. And I want to put that stuff on top of the rectangle. So right. That's not what I wanted to do. um, so I can do something like that. And then I think there's like a border color. Border color, border width. So I can do something like no, this is just some size, right? So you can kind of try to style this to look like a little bit more like a frame with tabs in it. And let's update these tabs to do a little bit more to kind of show the idea that this is working. And we've only got 5 minutes left, so yeah, let's do that. The next question would be, I think there may be a potential to extend this into using like a delegate for at the very least for the tabs, but also maybe for the whole group. So what I'm by delegate, we have this pattern that we establish where you can define, you can have one widget, but then you can have a class that sort of says how it should be built, how it should be drawn. It's a representation layer. So this could be extended to start using delegates so that maybe you could do a tab group that looks like these tabs, or maybe you could do a tab group that's just buttons on top. I think I could do one more week of that. I've never actually implemented that myself in Kit, so it may be a little bit of a challenge, but if that sounds interesting, we could do that. Otherwise, we can just start with the soundboard next week. So let me know what you think. In the meantime, I'm going to go to this demo window and try to make this a little bit more interesting to look at here. So UI dot button, hello, label, UI dot. Let's use one of my fancy checkbox groups here. And then this one's going to have UI dot string field. And maybe we'll do with UI dot hstack. Oh, see, this is where this is going to break. So I do need to do a little handling here. No, this is going to work. Okay. Sorry, I was thinking whether my thing would break here if it's only a single yeah, still thinking through this. My what I'm wondering is, can I support both a build function that has multiple top level widgets, or do I need to or is it only going to work if it has a single top level widget. So let's see what happens here. UI dot label. All right. Yeah. So what happened here? It didn't support it only supports build function with one root level widget. So that's okay. I just need to make that let my users know that's just basic. That's kind of already by design with frames, right? So instead, what my users need to know is they need to do something like this with vstack. And I'm forgetting the UI again. Right? They just need to always just have one. The reason that I noticed that this was happening is because I put labels in these and those weren't showing up anymore. It just picks the last widget that I declare. So there we go. So now this one is a single widget one, but this one has two, and this one has two top level ones too. So that's the basic idea. But what I wanted to show you is if you're new to Python, if you're new to this sort of development, I just want to encourage you as you're building these things, especially if it's meant to be used by other developers or even just for yourself, is use doc strings. I don't have this set up with you can have VS Code automatically generate these for you with a template, but we encourage Google style doc strings. Let me see. I thought we have documenting here. Yeah, so this is really great. The documenting Python API says that we're using Google style doc strings, and you can click on there and read more about it. But the basic idea is a short description of what this function is for, or you can also do it for classes or modules. A long description of what it is. Args : the name of the argument, and then a description for the argument. Then returns : and then just a description of what it returns. So I can actually just kind of copy that as my template. And you can set up VS Code too. There are extensions to. I think it has to be an extension to do this, but that will, when you do that and you hit enter, it'll auto populate it for you, and it'll look at what parameters you're using, and it'll automatically do that. Or it'll give you a starting point for the parameters. So no parameters here, so I don't need this section. This doesn't return anything, so I don't need this section. So really, it's just populate this. Builds the contents for the tab. And then I can say implement this function. You must implement this function with the UI construction code that you want for your tab. This is set to be called by by a UI frame, so it must have only a single top level widget. Cool. So then when I'm over here and I'm overwriting this, it tells me I've got the doc string there. All right, that is it for today. Obviously, this looks terrible, but I'll clean it up. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to spend time with you guys just watching me do little adjustments. Unless you want to. Let me know if you want to watch me play around with styles. But I want this to be kind of a learning thing too. So covering the big ideas so that you could build this yourself or build something like it. All right. Yeah, the source is where I should have put it into the descriptions. I know I didn't. I should have put it into the descriptions for those videos. We're moving those videos from my channel to the NVIDIA Omniverse channel, and I'll have a playlist so that you can find it easily. But I suppose I can go here, and if I go into the ones that we've already moved, then in this description is the link. And there it is for you in the chat. So Funky Boy's been helping me test this a little bit more, and I'm there will be one more push to this at least. It won't be a part. This will just I'm done with the branches or the tags for each of the parts. But I will give you a more complete and finished bookshelf generator. So yeah, just the little bugs that I've been sorting out, but hopefully that will help. And yeah, if you're stuck on part 6, let me know if you have any questions, and hopefully before you finish part 7, I'll have the final version of this so you can see the final changes that I made. Anything else? All right, we did a lot today. Thank you for coming. Next week, like I said, we're going to be doing the bookshelf. No, I'm sorry. The no more bookshelf. The soundboard, and that's if I plan this out well, it'll be like part 1 is going to be very simple beginner level extension building, and then I'm going to on subsequent parts we'll do things like developing presets and using persistent settings and things like that to kind of build on that and continue learning. Yeah, thank you for joining. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do give this video a like, and yeah, we'll keep doing this. Thank you, everybody.